What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the rumor that there will be a PS5 event later on this month or sometime this month. So this comes from Bloomberg. Now, this is pretty interesting, right? Because obviously, when Sony announced this state of play, I made a video on Podcast Now, right? We talked about how, in my opinion, is it going to be a disappointing show? Is it going to suck? No, but I think what people are obviously expecting a state of play to be, I think, it's pretty okay to say, like, this is not what we all thought was going to happen. With that being said, one of the first things I said, one of the first things a lot of people said was, well, could they just do two shows? Could they have a second show on PS5? Maybe this is like a cleanup kind of show, right? They want to get out some more announcements in terms of games that are on current gen, VR, stuff like that. Do they want to do that and then have another show, right? A thing I've said is, are they waiting still? Are they waiting for Microsoft, where it's like, no, Sony will not go first. They need Microsoft to go first, and then they'll counter. Could very well be. Now, we got this report from Bloomberg yesterday that talked about how there is a tentative date that's set for August, that they want to do a second thing, and they want to do it specifically for PS5. So honestly, in my opinion, now that because they didn't really go in that much detail, it was mainly talking about like how much money Sony earned this like fiscal quarter or whatever. So it wasn't mainly talking about PlayStation 5 and an event for PS5. But in my opinion, what I still think is going on, again, I said this yesterday, I said this the day before, I think the plan is, okay, go over what you need to go over this up, tomorrow, basically at this point, right? Wait for Microsoft, because Microsoft, I assume over the next 2-ish weeks, will do a show, and they'll maybe show more Halo Infinite gameplay, maybe they'll show, whatever they want to show, and hopefully, from Sony's point of view, right, they're hoping, I would assume, that Microsoft is going to say, okay, here's the price, we're finally going to give it, here's Lockhart, here's our digital version, we're going to give the price for that, here's the release date. I think that's what Sony is expecting to see from Microsoft, because at the end of the day, look, they both have to go very soon. These systems come out in like 3 months from now, they got to get going. There's really no more time to say, oh, well, we'll just do it in September. I mean, it could happen, and in fact, and maybe it's more likely that it reaches that point, but like they both have to go. So I would assume Sony is waiting for Microsoft. So say Microsoft goes in 2 weeks. Say they give Sony 2 weeks from their state of play, and then they go in 2 weeks. They announce all the stuff they're going to do. Maybe Sony then counters the final week in August or the first week, and that's why it's tentative, because depending maybe on when Microsoft goes, then Sony would go again like a week, 2 weeks later. So if Microsoft goes at the very end of the month, then maybe Sony has to wait till early September, right? That's what I think. I think that is where we will get the price, the release date, again, the different versions that we've seen, all this different kind of stuff, the pre-orders, whether it's saying, okay, you're going to be able to pre-order it today, or here's the day that you're going to be able to pre-order, whatever they end up doing, and then also the games. Here's gameplay of Spider-Man. Here's Silent Hill. Here's Final Fantasy 7 or 16. Here's all these. I mean, they could do Final Fantasy 7 Part 2, right? All these different things. I think that makes the most sense. Again, having what they're doing tomorrow is fine. I'm not against it. I'm not mad. Like I said, I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I'm ready for a game. I mean, honestly, look, we're in August. There's not much going on, although Friday is the start of the Avengers beta. That's really exciting. But besides that, there's not much going on until DC Fandom, okay? So at this point, I'm in for any. If they want to announce a Crash Bandicoot, another playable character, go ahead. If you want to announce, something random, that's happening, a Spider-Man and Avengers, you want to show that trailer, go ahead. You know what I mean? Do whatever you want. It's more gaming news. That's always fine. But at the same time, we can't really look the other way. We have to be honest with ourselves. We were expecting PS5 stuff. This is really, for the longest time, for a couple of weeks, even like a month at this point, this was that event that everybody was kind of looking to as like, okay, this is when we're going to see like the PS5 reveal event 2.0, because we're going to see gameplay of these games. We may see more games, different games. We'll get the price, all the stuff. It was supposed to be a big thing. Now, again, that's not how it turned out. I truly do believe it's because they want Microsoft to go first. But this rumor that they're planning a second event, I think makes a lot of sense. I think it just comes down to it'll be in August if Microsoft goes quickly. So Microsoft goes like next week, week and a half from now, like 2 Tuesdays, let's say. If they go sometime in that range, like August 18th, right? If they go then, Sony could do something like late the next week on like the Thursday. Sony seems to like the Thursdays, right? So if they could do that, and then that could be it. But at the same time, if Microsoft waits a little bit longer, then maybe Sony has to wait even longer still into September. Ultimately, it's going to kind of suck, though, because at the end of the day, if Sony is waiting and Microsoft just goes crazy and says, here's the prices of these two consoles, at the end of the day, I don't really think Sony is going to be. The rumor has it, and from everything we've kind of seen of these consoles, it really does seem like US dollar, The disc version of the PS5 is going to be $500, and the digital version is either going to be $400 or $450. Okay, that's kind of where there's really not a lot of wiggle room. Could it be that they do $450 and $400? I guess. I really do feel like, though, Microsoft is going to go crazy and do $400 and $300. And I mean, in that way, there's not much you can do to match a $300 digital version. At the same time, we know that that digital version isn't really a full-blown next-gen digital. So, I mean, there's pros and cons to both what Sony's doing and what Microsoft's doing, right? I think just at the end of the day, we're all excited for these things, and what could end up happening is, like, Sony's waiting to counter, and they may not even be able. The only thing they could counter is release date. They could probably put their console out, first if they needed to, but in terms of price, they can only go down so far. So Microsoft's going to go insane and have really low price. I mean, good for them. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's great for for consumers, right? But it's and there's pros and cons because you may not be getting a very powerful this or that. But at the same time, Sony may not be able to counter that. So this is weird. It's interesting. It's been a weird summer. We're not even done with it. We thought we would be done, right? Probably around this time. Turns out we're not. Turns out we're just going to get PS4 games tomorrow. Again, totally cool. Ready to go with it. But guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think there's going to be a PS5 event later on in this month, early September? Do you think they're waiting for Microsoft to go first again? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all of these videos go up. And I do a brand new video every single day on this channel, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.